This is Pascal Cooper coming back again to talk to you about goalkeeping this time. This time I'm not going to do any drills. So if you enjoyed that first video, I guess you're back for some more. Just going to talk about goalkeeping this time. This could last a little while. I'm out here in Houston, Texas. Started playing at 7 this morning. I played 2 games already. 7 to 9, 9 to 11. It was about 38 Fahrenheit when we started. It's been pretty cold and breezy. Sun's out now. It's warming up a little bit. So a lot of things to say about goalkeeping. So first of all, I want to say that I'm not going to tell anybody like this is how to play a goalkeeper. All right, there's all kinds of different things you can do. I'm just going to tell you what I like to do, and none of that is fact. It's just how I like to play. There's different ways to play. I'm going to tell you what I like to do, and I'll probably repeat that for a little while until you guys get used to me. So take what you want from what I have to say. Ignore the rest. Fill in the blanks. And make it your own. Maybe you want to take 90% of what I have to say, and you're like, throw away 10%, take a little bit, make the rest of it up your own, take it from some other people. Maybe you're like, most of what I say is junk, and you like a few little bits and pieces, you can grab that in, but you know, take what you want, ignore the rest. Ultimately, you got to make it your own. You got to be a little crazy to be a goalkeeper, all right? You gotta be a little crazy. You're gonna throw your body on the ground. You're gonna throw your body in front of a relatively hard ball. I mean, it's not that hard, but going up to about 90 miles an hour. So you gotta be a little crazy. I started playing football when I was about 6. I played for the CYSA, Chantilly Youth Soccer Association in Chantilly, Virginia. I played on a team called the Rowdies when I was 6, and again when I was 7. We had these jerseys. They were green with a yellow number, and you could turn it inside out and it'd be yellow with the green number. And little did I know that many years later, I would become the captain of a team that was green and gold. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. And then I moved from Virginia to Texas. And in 4th and 5th grade, I did not play football. And then I came to the school that I went to from junior high through high school, 6 through 12. And in 6th grade, I did not play at school, but I did play in my neighborhood. I played for a team called the Sting, at a place called Inwood Dad's Club. We won that league. We won that title. I don't remember what happened with the Rowdies. I was too young. We could have lost every game or won every game for all I remember. I just remember we had those orange slices of orange at halftime that were all that was pretty yummy. I like that. Anyway, so I played at Inwood Dad's Club. We won that league. The next year I played at Inwood Dad's Club, and we were relatively mediocre. It wasn't the Sting anymore. It was a blue team. And the next year, that same year, I started playing for my junior high and high school, where I would eventually go on to three-peat as a captain of a state championship dynasty. And so my 7th grade, I played all, as well as at Inwood Dad's Club, I played in my school, and that's when I became a goalkeeper. That's when I started goalkeeping. It didn't take everyone to realize that once I started getting in the goal, no one could score on us, and we started scoring goals. And it wasn't long before we basically started going undefeated, and no one would beat us for seasons upon seasons. And that would eventually land me on a club team called Houston National FC. I was never officially on that team, but I trained with that team for 3 years. 3.5 hours a day, 3 days a week for 2 years, and then I went away and I came back 4 years later and I played with them for another year. Never missed a practice. Let me show you what we're talking about here. This is my 9th grade year. The first year we won state. Played about 10 minutes in the final. We won the final 7-1. Undefeated again this season. We won the final 7-1. This is my 10th grade year. I played half of most of the games this season. Then I became the captain my 11th grade year. We won the final 2-1, and we lost one game that year. We were not undefeated. We lost one game. Okay, that's a little bit about me. So there's basically two, from my understanding, there seem to be two kinds of keeper styles, two kinds of keepers. One that's emerged more recently, they call it a sweeper keeper, which is basically a goalie that sort of is like a fullback that uses his hands. He comes out of the goal, they pass back to him a lot, he dribbles. I'm not a sweeper keeper. I don't like that. I don't like to be passed back to. You pass back to me, I'm kicking it out, we can regroup. I'm not going to try to dribble anybody. I'm not going to take forwards on. I'm not going to take midfielders on with my feet. I'm there to stop goals. I'm not there to dribble. I'm there to stop goals, okay? I call that the keeper. The keeper. Stop goals. That's your number one job. That's your job. Stop the goals. So I'm mostly going to be talking to you like a keeper. And like I said, you know, that doesn't mean that being a sweeper keeper is wrong. Maybe you're a good dribbler. Maybe you want to do that. I see guys doing that get burned because of it. But hey, like I said, do what works for you. So there's what I consider three. I'm just kind of wandering around randomly. Here's the goal box. There's the goal. Here's the goal box. Okay, this is 18 yards out. The top of the goal is 18 yards out. And to tell you the truth, I have no idea how wide it is. That's something you can just look up yourself if you care. You know what? I never knew. I never really cared. I don't think it matters a heck of a lot. You can see the line. It's 18 yards out. This is a little box. I don't know what this box is even called, to tell you the truth. I don't even know what this little box is called, but this line right here is 6 yards out. And how wide it is, I also could not tell you. Don't know, never cared. Now what does matter is the dimensions of this. This is your goal. The goal is 8 feet tall. That's 8 feet. From side to side, it's 24 feet. Try and get in the sun. There's what I consider three main aspects of goalkeeping. Diving and diving. Diving, some diving drills. Diving. There's a lot of stuff you gotta do. You gotta outlet, you gotta throw, you gotta punt, you gotta drop kick. Diving, penalty kicks. Diving. What I consider the three main aspects of goalkeeping are what we'll call diving, and diving. Diving, some diving drills. Diving, stopping shots. Diving and diving, some diving drills. Diving. Number 2 is coming out. And number 3 is what I like to call the force. If you like a Star Wars reference, I'm gonna have a few more. The force is kind of like reading the field of play. You got to read what's going on the field. So just to give you some idea what that is to me. So many years in, I would say I was on the 4th or 5th season with this team here at this field. So my first, second, third, fourth team or so, several years in, before I experienced this happen. So I stand here in the goal, looking all the way down. How they got a silly goal right in the middle, but you look all the way down the field, look how far away it is. I could stand here, my team would be all the way down there, and I would get this funny feeling like we're about to score a goal. And then within about a minute or two, we would score a goal. And I found that would keep on happening. I would have a premonition that my own team was about to score, and I could tell when we were gonna score. Not always, but it happens sometimes. I'd be like, wow, I sense a goal coming. And then we would score a goal. And like I said, that didn't always happen, but it started happening sometimes with some accuracy. Whenever I got that feeling, we scored a goal. So I didn't always get that feeling before we got a goal, but whenever I did get that feeling, we almost always did score a goal. And it would happen about a minute to 2 minutes out, never further out than that. And it's kind of like you're sensing the flow, okay? It's the flow of the game. And after you practice and play hundreds of games, and you've had, you know, hundreds or thousands of goals scored on you at practice, you sense what's happening. Like when a goal is gonna be scored on you, it gets scored, and you can sort of, your mind is gonna backtrack, it's gonna rewind and play it back and be like, you start to sense the flow of what's going on when you get scored on, which helps you adjust, because you can feel when the flow of the other team, when they're coming at you, and then you start to sense it all the way down. You start to sense it all the way down the field, on the other side of the field. That's like the force. So when you reach that level, you're basically using the force, okay? It's reading the flow. And since I'm gonna call that the flow, goalkeepers are not, let me get a nice low angle here for this. We are not the good guys, okay? Goalkeepers. We are not the Jedi. We are the Sith. We are the destroyer of goals and the destroyer of souls. Don't forget that. You're not the good guy back here. You are the bad guy. You are taking goals away from the other team, okay? We are the Sith. Understand what you are, what this position means, okay? If you're a goalkeeper, you're the Sith, man. You're not the Jedi. The destroyer of goals and the destroyer of souls. So coming out and diving and diving, some diving drills, diving. Now I think everyone is going to be better at one of those things. I happen to be pretty good at both of them. I feel like I'm even better at coming out. If you want to score on me, you better take a good shot from far away the first chance you have to touch it. That's how to score on me. You come in and start dribbling me, you're done for. I'm gonna take the ball off your feet. If you want to play the dribble game with me, school's out, buddy. You're in trouble. So, what can I say about coming out? Coming out, you want to keep. That's a good shot. You want to keep your feet together, okay? You want to keep your feet together. The ball's not going to pass between my feet. You put your hands down here at your side when you come out like this. Okay, you got your hand down here. You got your hands at the side, okay? Spread a couple of feet wide. You come forward at the ball, you close the angle, how you come out. If you need to teach yourself to keep your dang feet together, go get you a bungee cord and put the bungee cord around your feet, so when you step, it stretches out. It's gonna remind you every step, you got a bungee cord around your ankles. To remind you, step together. You're gonna bring your feet together, okay? Diving, I'll get into some diving. We got some diving drills. I don't want to get into any, try to keep myself in the sun. Some diving drills. So as a goalkeeper, you got to think about this too. So I already told you I don't dribble. I'm not a big dribbler. I'm actually a pretty decent shooter, and I'm good at passing. I just can't dribble that good. So as someone who can't dribble, I'm going to tell you that still, as a keeper, you should be able to do all the things that any of the guys on the field can do. Okay, maybe just not as well as them. But in terms of the players on the field, as terms of the roster, okay, the personnel, the goalie is the guy, the keeper is the guy who can do everything that anyone else on the field can do, and he can do all the things that no one else can do. Okay, you might have one or two other guys that in a pinch you could throw them in the goal and they'll be half decent. Every team should have another guy that could step in the goal. I'm not talking about the backup keeper. I'm talking about an outfield player. Every team should have one or two other guys who could be like, sure, I'll jump in the goal and then a pinch. Last 10 or 15 minutes for something goes down and you need a keeper, okay? So let me explain this. So this is why I'm a keeper and not a sweeper keeper, okay? I'll make another reference. I already used the force. I'm going to use Superman now, okay? Here's the goal box, okay? Here's your goal box. Okay, you're like Superman. All right, you're like Superman. Inside the goal box, you have superpowers. Come on, again. You get to use your hands. You're gonna have privilege over other players. You get to defend yourself harder, okay? It's like you have superpowers, all right? You're Superman. And there's the 18-yard line, okay? There's the 18-yard line. And guess what happens when you do that? You step over the 18-yard line, that's like kryptonite. The other side of this line is kryptonite. All your superpowers go away. Anyway, they got to get that together. Go get you some black. We're the Sith. Go get you some black, okay? Black jerseys. When the forward looks up and they're dribbling, they got a breakaway on you, and he looks up and he sees neon pink. He's not gonna miss. He's not gonna miss a breakaway on a guy wearing neon pink. Man, you got to be a punk of a forward to do that. All right, go get you some black so the forward looks up and it's like a freaking wraith coming at him. A wraith, that's Batman, okay, is a wraith. It's a concept, a ghost, a demon, all in black. The forward looks up and it's like this demon in black coming at him, okay? So kryptonite, Superman, kryptonite. All your powers go away. Why are you going to come out? Why would you come out? Why would you do anything on this field outside of this goal box? All right? Let them come in, man. This is one of the most important things you have to remember playing goalkeeper. Stay cool. You got to keep your head, okay? You got a guy breaking away on you, say from the 50-yard line. He's got 50 yards to think about it. Don't come out and chase him. Stay put. Come on. Hold your ground. Don't give him a shot. Don't give him a shot over your head.
Behind you! Run all the way. Go, man, go, man.
Let him make a mistake. Let him dribble. Let him dribble. He touches the ball to you. Wait till he gets close. Wait till he gets close to the goal box. And he's maybe one dribble outside the goal box. When he touches the ball forward, that's when you come out. As soon as the ball leaves his foot, it's traveling towards you at its top speed of his force of his dribble to himself. It's coming towards you and moving away from him. Okay, so the distance between the ball and you is closing fast, and it's expanding between him and you. Okay, don't do that when he's out at 50 and try to make a play out here in the middle of the regular players play. You wait until he enters Superman land and use your hands. Okay, stay in your box. Like I said, you can ignore my advice if you want. I'm a keeper. Stay in your box, man. I see goalies wandering halfway up here. That's nonsense, man. Stay in your box, man. All your superpowers exist right here. So back to what else I was saying, that as the goalie, you can do everything that none of the other guys can do. Okay, so if you think about this like Vikings going into battle with swords, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the end and it's a tie, and you go to overtime and it's a tie, and you go to double overtime and it's a tie, and it goes to penalties, it comes down on your shoulders. Okay, it's on your shoulders. You're the guy that can do the one thing that no one else can do. All right, you're in the back. Where's the king in a chessboard? The king is in the back. All the other peoples protect him, because at the end of the day, he's the one guy with the skill set that it's going to come down on you. If the teams are even, it comes down on you. Everyone on the field should be protecting you. You're the king. Okay, the center midfielder isn't the king. The goal scorer isn't the king. Okay, nobody tells you what to do. You run the show. The attack starts with the outlet. It starts with the goalkeeper. And I'm not talking about goal kicks. I don't take my goal kicks. Fullbacks take goal kicks. Goalkeepers don't take goal kicks. Sorry, Jacob, sorry. I'm not here to kick a ball. I'm here to stop goals. Come on, dude. Get your big fullback with a big leg. If you have a shank right here, and you're not in the goal, let your fullback shank it, and you still got the guy. You're still in the goal. Stay in the goal. Let someone else take your goal kicks. Okay, when it comes down to penalty kicks, you're the king, man. When it comes down to the end of the battle on the battlefield, and it's Vikings out here with swords and everyone's dead and there's blood everywhere, you're the one protecting the fort. All the gold and the treasure box and the jewels and the women and the kids, they're all inside. You are the last line of defense. Okay, everyone on this field answers to you. You're the leader. You're the leader. Don't have fullbacks telling you how to play your position. You tell the fullbacks what you want them to do. Okay, run the show.
Get in the goal, buddy. Get in the goal, buddy.
Run the show. There's a couple things I think are good for goalkeepers to watch. Okay, there's a couple things I'm going to suggest to you. This might seem a little strange. First of all, I want you to go watch a couple Clint Eastwood movies. I might even put a couple of links to these so you don't have to watch the whole movies. There's a Clint Eastwood movie called The Outlaw Josie Wales, and there's a gunfight in it. And it's Clint Eastwood, it's a Josie Wales character against 4 guys. Right? And what does Clint do? He doesn't pull out his gun and start shooting. No, he doesn't. He waits to see which guy is going to draw first. Okay, it's the guy over there. That guy draws. Bang, he comes here. That guy's dead. Now, these other 3 guys, the guy over here pulls his gun. Bang, he comes towards him. He narrows the distance. Now, these 2 guys here, bang, bang, they're gone. Right? So it's like you react. Don't act. React. The guy draws his gun. Bang, he's gone. The next guy, you're waiting. Who's gonna shoot the ball? This guy over here. Boom, now he's gone. And now you got next one, you come at the one that draws on you first. If you act first, you're giving your position up. I want to say this about penalty kicks. I know a lot of goalkeepers. I was real good at penalty kicks. I'm undefeated in penalty shootouts. I've never been beaten in a penalty shootout ever. 4 times for this team and 4 times for all my other teams put together. I've never lost in a penalty shootout. And I don't guess. They're guessing, and they're guessing wrong, and they're looking stupid because they're jumping out of the way of a ball that comes right at them. So don't guess. As soon as you guess, the forwards are, why do you think they do this little like Scooby-Doo running and the little tippy toes thing? Because they want to read where you're going. If you're not going anywhere, you don't go first. They're trying to read you, and you don't give them anything to read. Wait and react to their shot. You know what? They're out there. I'm 6'2", okay? My wingspan is the same as your height. All right, 6'2", right? So I got 6'2" covered. I'm reaching out. My width is 6 feet, and this is 24, so there's 18 feet, so there's 9 feet on either side of me. All right? If from the 15-yard mark, I forget if it's 12 or 15, the penalty spot, you can look that up too. By the time the ball gets from that little white line, I can react and get halfway to that. And you know what? If the shooter can put the ball between my hand and that post, he's got to hit the side net to do it. Good for him. Give that up. That's a perfect shot. If the shooter's going to hit the side net, you can't stop it anyway. Even if you guess the right way, you're probably not going to stop it. So don't guess. Same thing over here. Look at my arm span. 6'2". There's 9 feet between the tip of my hand and the bar. One step, and look at that. In one step, the ball's not going to beat me here. It's not going to beat me here if I react. And look how much is left. A few feet, 4 feet maybe. The shooter's got to hit the side net and hit it hard to beat me. I'm guessing which way they're going. I'm not guessing. I'm reacting to their shot. I'm reacting to their shot. And let's talk about penalty kicks. None of the pressure is on you. There's no pressure on. The only time the pressure is on the goalkeeper is if it comes down to the last penalty kick and you have to save it or your team is going to lose. Then the pressure is on you. And I don't think that situation ever happened to me because I've always been so far ahead in the count. It never came to that for me. So, I'm losing the sunlight. So, okay. Let's say out of 10 penalty kicks, okay? Same shooter, has 10 shots. You should stop one, and he should miss one. Okay? That means he should make 8 out of 10. That's 4 out of 5. The shooter should make. A decent shooter, a guy playing midfield or forward at any kind of level should make 4 out of 5 goals on you. I never gave up 4 penalty kicks. So if you can stop 2 out of 5 penalty kicks, that's pretty decent. And if you can stop 3, you're probably gonna win. The pressure's on the forward, and you know what? They're supposed to score a penalty kick, right? It's a gimme. It should be automatic. It's not. Don't kid yourself. It's not. Don't play mind games. I hear a lot of people say play mind games. Don't play mind games. Just practice the hell out of it, improve your reflexes, and react to their shot. Just do it over and over and over. We used to when we used to practice here, we did a round of penalties at the end of every practice. You had to score a penalty in order to leave. And some guys were taking 4 or 5 before they scored one. So don't kid yourself. It's not automatic. It should be. So, but the forward should score the penalty, okay? And what's goofy is these forwards, these big name celebrities, I'm not gonna use any celebrities' names, but they score a penalty and they run around and do loop-de-loops around here and slide on their knees. It's goofy, man. It's like, you should score a penalty. If you miss a penalty, you're a punk, okay? If the goalie allows a penalty, he's not a punk. You should score on it. You should score. Now, if the goalie can't stop 1 out of 5, he's kind of a punk. If they shoot right down the middle and the goalie jumps out of the way because he's guessing and they shoot it right at you and you move out of the way, then you're a punk. Don't do that. That makes you look real bad. It's stupid. So that's about it. I've been at it half an hour, so I'm gonna wrap up this little chat. I'm trying to stay in the light a little bit. I'm just gonna bullet point the overall points. So you got sweeper keepers and you got keeper keepers. I'm a keeper keeper. I'm here to stop shots, man. I'm not here to dribble, okay? Stay in your box. Superman in the box, kryptonite outside the box. All right? You're the king. You're the guy who can do everything anyone else can do, if not as well. And you're the guy who can do all the stuff no one else can do. This is the other thing I wanted to tell you. As a goalkeeper, there's an athlete that you should go watch, and if you're younger guys, you may not know who this is, but your parents should know. And he's a basketball player named Dennis Rodman. He's the greatest defensive player of all time, and I've seen interviews where he talks about going up for rebounds, and he tips the ball, and he tips it, and he tips it, and he tips it to himself. And then what does he do? He turns around and he outlet passes the ball. The attack starts, he rebounds. Everyone thinks of him as a rebounder. But once he rebounds and he's got the ball, he's the guy driving the attack. Does the ball go that way? Does it go this way? Does it go straight down the middle? Is it a long ball? Do we powwow right here and bring it down with 3 or 4 guys? The attack starts with him. The guy has a lot of energy. He's a savage. He dives horizontally out of bounds. He's aggressive. He's got the flair. Intimidate. You're a wraith. If you don't know what that is, look up a wraith. Go watch Dennis Rodman play some basketball. Go watch some interviews with Dennis Rodman. I know it's not the same sport, but Dennis Rodman has a lot of tips that are good for goalkeepers. A lot of what he's doing applies to goalkeepers. There's a reason Michael Jordan went and got Dennis Rodman on his team, because he's the one guy in professional basketball that Michael Jordan knew he didn't want to go against. So he got him on his own team. That's smart. There's one guy in the whole league that I can't beat, and his name's Dennis Rodman. Well, how do I beat him? Get him on my team so I don't have to play against him. So go watch Dennis Rodman play basketball. What else was I saying? The Vikings, man, you're the king. The other players protect you. They answer to you. Where's the king on the chessboard? He's the guy in the back. He's the guy in the back. You're the most valuable piece on the board. What does I say? Superman, kryptonite, sweeper keeper. Oh, and the 3 aspects of goalkeeping: diving, and diving. Diving, some diving drills. Diving. We'll call it diving. Stopping shots, we're gonna call that diving. Diving, and diving. Diving, some diving drills. Diving, coming out, and the force. And actually, I coached a team in the league. I didn't mention that. The league I played in, called Inwood Dad's Club, 2 years outside. When I was 6th grade and 7th grade, I played in that team. When I was a senior in high school, I coached a team in that league that won that league. And we were called the Force, and we won that league. I didn't realize for like at least a decade after that, I didn't even realize. I inherited that team, and there was a few kids on it from the previous season. It was already called the Force. And it was at least a decade later, and I was like, hey man, that's a Star Wars reference. I played that entire season and went another 10 years into my life before I even realized. But that's the Force. I coached a team called the Force, man. So use the Force. Read the field. Let the Force flow through you. Let the dark side flow through you, my Sith babies. Until next time.